Hello all, I am PW Ingle working as an assistant professor at Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon in Mechanical Engineering Department. Now today we will discuss about the unit number 4 steam turbine. Now before that we have to discuss the basics of steam nozzle because steam nozzle is also an important component of steam turbine. So steam nozzle is a passage of varying cross section through which heat energy of steam is converted into kinetic energy. So heat energy of steam is nothing but the steam which is produced by the boiler uh, at high pressure. This pressure energy will be converted into kinetic energy in the nozzle. So at the end of nozzle, you are getting the steam at kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will be used to produce a steam jet with a high velocity to drive the steam turbine. So the turbine nozzle performs two functions. Number one, it transforms a portion of energy of steam into kinetic energy. And second one, in impulse turbine, a steam jet of high velocity against plate is directed, and in which the kinetic energy will be converted into shaft work. And in reaction turbine, nozzles which are free to move discharge high velocity steam. So reactive force of steam against the nozzle produces motion and work is obtained. So in case of impulse turbine, whatever may be the pressure energy of steam, so all will be converted in nozzle itself, and you are getting a jet, or we are getting the energy which is have only kinetic energy or with a velocity. So the conversion of or power generation is because of impulse. And reaction turbine, some partial conversion is taking place in nozzle or fixed blade, and remaining conversion is taking place in the blade. So there will be a pressure difference. That pressure difference is nothing but uh, reaction. So that's why this turbine is known as reaction turbine. So in short, in impulse turbine, the conversion of all pressure energy will be taking place into kinetic energy in nozzle itself. And in reaction turbine, it is taking place in fixed plate, that is nozzle as well as moving blade. The cross section of nozzle at first tapers to a small section. It is provided to allow for changes which occur due to changes in velocity, specific volume and dry fraction of steam. The smallest portion is known as throat, and then it diverges to a large diameter. So that's why the nozzle is known as convergent and divergent nozzle. You can see the diagram of convergent divergent nozzle. So this is convergent part and this is divergent part. This is entry of nozzle, this is exit of nozzle, and this portion is smallest area of cross section is nothing but throat portion. So I told you nozzle is used to convert pressure energy into kinetic energy. So steam enters the nozzle with a high pressure and low initial velocity and leaves it with a high velocity and low pressure. So this is due to reason that heat energy of steam is converted into kinetic energy. Now steady flow energy equation in nozzle. So consider a steady flow. We know that nozzle is an open system. How to define open system? If mass as well as energy will cross the boundary through the system is known as open system. So here mass of steam along with some energy enters, and here mass of steam along with some energy exit. Okay, that's why mass as well as energy will cross the boundary. This is what boundary of system. So for open system we are applying steady flow energy equation. Consider steady flow of 1 kg of steam passed through a nozzle. This 1 is entrance and 2 is exit. Let P1, P2 are the inlet and outlet pressure in bars, C1, C2 are inlet and outlet velocities, V1 small V1 and V2 are inlet and outlet specific volume in meter cube per kg. U1 and U2 are internal energies. Z1 and Z2 are inlet and outlet elevation. And then W is the mechanical work, and H1 and H2 are enthalpy at inlet and outlet. So let us write steady flow energy equation, SFE, steady flow energy equation. So energy entering into nozzle equal to energy leaving the nozzle. Now energy enters in the nozzle is in the form of enthalpy H1 plus C1 square by 2, that is kinetic energy GZ1 is nothing but potential energy Q is what, heat, equal to H2 plus C2 square by 2 plus GZ2 plus W. So this is a general steady flow energy equation. We have to apply this, we have to modify this equation with respect to nozzle. So the main point to be noted is Q. So heat supplied to the apparatus is placed in entering energy group with a positive sign, and if it is leaving, then it is negative sign. So we'll see the direct equation. So here H1 plus C1 square by 2 plus Q equal to H2 plus C2 square by 2 plus W. So since potential energy is negligible, so we are not changing elevation, Z1 equal to Z2. Then if there is no heat supplied to the apparatus, so Q equal to 0, or if the nozzle is adiabatic, there is no heat transfer, so Q equal to 0. And if there is no mechanical work, so we know that nozzle is used to convert pressure energy into kinetic energy, so there is no question of work done by the apparatus, so W is also 0. So what you are getting then? H1 plus C1 square by 2 equal to H2 plus C2 square by 2. So on simplifying, you are getting C2 equal to 2 in bracket H1 minus H2 plus C1 square by 2. Sorry, C1 square, okay, where H is in kilojoule per kg. So now we want to convert this C2 in meter per second. So we are multiplying, we are converting this enthalpy in joule per kg. So it is 2 into 10 to the power 3 in bracket H1 minus H2. So by taking square root, you are getting C2 equal to 44.72 H1 minus H2. Now the steam at this absolute velocity will enters in the turbine. It may be impulse or it may be reaction turbine. Okay. So we are taking this C2 as a 0, sorry, C1 as a 0, because that velocity is very negligible. So you can see the simple how I have written this equation. Okay, so twice H1 plus C1 square equal to twice H2 plus C2 square. So you are getting C2 and C1 is 0. So this is what the equation for nozzle, steady flow energy equation for nozzle. Now what is nozzle efficiency? So when the steam flows through the nozzle, the final velocity of steam or the given pressure drop is reduced due to following reasons. Number 1, friction between nozzle surface and steam, then internal friction of steam and shock losses. So therefore we can define the nozzle efficiency as it is the ratio of actual enthalpy drop to the isentropic enthalpy drop between the same pressure. So you can refer the diagram. Suppose this is H1, H2, H3. Okay, so we have taken the reference of, you see here, H1 minus H3 upon H1 minus H3. Sorry, H1 minus H3 dash upon H1 minus H3. H1 minus H3 dash. Okay, so this 3 dash, H1 minus H3 dash is what? Actual enthalpy drop, and H1 minus H3 is nothing but isentropic enthalpy drop. So this completes what? The basics of steam nozzle and how to get the equation for velocity. So this equation is very important. C2 equal to 44.72 in bracket H1 minus H2. Because in most of the problem, the velocity C2 might not be given. So enthalpy is may be given. So you have to use the enthalpy, or in some problem only steam pressures are given. So by taking help of steam table, you can calculate the values of H1, H2, and then you can calculate C2. Okay, so this ends the basics of steam nozzle. Thank you.